Hey guys, how's it going? I am going ahead and making this video for your study guide. Today is Thursday. I think we're at a B day, right? Yeah. B or A. I'm making this video for our study guide to go over the map questions. I'm a little bit, well, not concerned, but wanted to go. We went over the questions the other day that had passages, and today I want to focus on the questions that and break down the map questions. All right. So right now on our study guide for our Unit 1 exam, I'm looking at question number 1, and it's a map of the Crusades. It's got the Byzantine Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, the Muslim Empire, all listed, okay? And if you'll notice, again, we went over this, this map question about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and if you'll notice up in the right-hand corner behind the map key is going to be a space that's either white or yellow, depending on what color you see. That's going to be the Holy Lands. That's the Holy Lands, and those are the lands that are being fought over in the Crusades. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. What was the conflict that the Crusades consisted of? Remember, conflict is going to be another word for fighting. We should all know that by now. So let's go ahead and take a look at the options. Option A, an attempt by the Christian armies to overtake lands in the New World. Option B, an attempt by the Muslim armies to overtake Western Europe. Option C, an attempt by the Christian armies to overtake lands in the Holy Land. And option D, an attempt by the Christian armies to overtake lands in Southeast Asia. So, all right, multiple choice a lot of times is a process of elimination to me, but in order to do that, you have to break down each option and ask yourself the questions within the question. So let's look at option A. An attempt by the Christian armies to overtake lands in the New World. If you'll remember, the New World is basically the Americas. I don't see Americas on this map. I see Northern Africa, Western Europe, and parts of Asia. So we're going to go ahead and eliminate option A. New World is not part of this map. Let's take a look at option B. An attempt by the Muslim armies to overtake Western Europe. That is a great option. The Muslims actually do have a strong foothold in Spain, if you'll notice on the map. So let's go ahead and leave option B on the table, all right? Because that is what eventually becomes the threat, all right? So let's leave option B on the table. Option C, an attempt by the Christian armies to overtake lands in the Holy Land. The Holy Land is that space up there in the top right-hand corner. And that is an attempt by the Christian armies. They believed that the Pope wanted, he felt like the Catholic Church should be in charge of that land, since that's the land where Jesus, you know, and all the stories that you've read about in the Bible, that's the land where all that was said to have taken place. So I think we should leave option C. Now let's take a look at option D. An attempt by the Christian armies to overtake lands in Southeast Asia. We're going to go ahead and eliminate that option because Southeast Asia is what we talked about 3 weeks ago. It's down in Indonesia, India, and that's not on the map. That's not the focus of the map. So we're going to go ahead and eliminate option A and D. So let's break it down, B and C. So let's take a look at B again. An attempt by the Muslim armies to overtake Western Europe. Is Western Europe the fighting ground? Is Western Europe the space where, is that the desired space? Is that what the conflict is over? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And the answer to that question is no. It's not the source of conflict. So because of that, the Muslim armies, if anything, were defending the lands that they believe they owned in the Holy Land. So we're going to eliminate option B, and that leaves us with number 1 being option C. All right? The source of the conflict was the Holy Land. That's what's important to remember with this question. All right, so which empire was the setting for the First Crusade? So let's look at the key. This is going to require us to look at the key for number 2. Which option or which empire was the setting for the First Crusade? The First Crusade is represented by the red line. Kind of looks like a bloodstream or a vein through Europe, right? And I see a lot of red inside of the Christian lands. And I see a whole lot of red where the Byzantine Empire is. Not so much in the Holy Roman Empire, but I see it where the Byzantine Empire is. So the option for that, the answer for that, I think, is going to be the Roman Empire doesn't exist at this point. The Abbasid Caliphate, yeah, it's the Muslim Empire. That's in the bottom of the map in the orange area. but I don't see any red lines through that. So we can go ahead and eliminate the Roman Empire for option A and Abbasid Caliphate for option B. So that leaves Mali and the Byzantine Empire. The Mali Empire is not on the map. So, and it's in Western Africa. So we're going to go ahead and eliminate that one. That leaves the Byzantine Empire. If you'll notice the red lines going through the Byzantine Empire on the map. All right, and number 3. The First through Fourth Crusades from 1095 to 1204 involved the Byzantine Empire, Muslim states, and Western Europe in a series of conflicts over what world region? So we're basically breaking this down through, we're looking at just directions, I guess, the region. So looking at the map, is this going to be a fight over Northwest Africa? I don't see red lines through Northwest Africa at this point, so we're going to go ahead and eliminate that option. So option D is eliminated. Option C, Southeast Asia, not like I said earlier on question number 1, not on the map, so we're going to eliminate Southeast Asia. East Africa, it's a good guess, but again, those are Muslim holy lands. I don't see any battles or fighting through those, so let's eliminate East Africa, and that's going to leave option A, Southwest Asia. And again, look up top, that right-hand corner. If we had a whole grid, if we had a whole globe to look at, you would see Southeast or Southwest Asia. All right. Okay, so the First through Fourth I'm sorry, we already did that one, didn't we? Let's look at number 4 and 5. Which of the following comparisons between the Byzantine Empire and other empires is more historically accurate? Let's see. The Byzantine Empire was based off of what we saw with the Roman Empire. You could argue it's Rome 2.0, but let's go ahead and look at the options. The Byzantine Empire, short-lived? I don't think so. We can eliminate option A. Byzantine Empire was dominantly Christian, so they weren't polytheistic. Eliminate option B. And let's look at option C. Like the Song Dynasty, the Byzantine Empire built on the legacy of an earlier empire. That's very true. Built on the legacy of the Roman Empire. Song Dynasty did that with the Tang Dynasty. So let's keep option C, and let's take a look at option D. Like the Ottoman Empire, the Byzantine Empire declined and fell quickly. It was a slow, gradual decline. If you look at the timelines and everything, especially in the textbook, you'll see that the Byzantine Empire had a slow decline, not a quick one. So we can eliminate option D, right? And that leaves option C for number 4. Like the Song Dynasty, the Byzantine Empire built on the legacy of an earlier empire. All right, and number 5, last one for this question. Based on the map above and your knowledge of world history, which of the following was true by the 13th century? These are tough. Catholic Christianity, option A said Catholic Christianity was expanding in Western Europe. Option B was the Holy Roman Empire controlled all of Catholic Europe. Option C was the Seljuk Turks controlled most of the Muslim world. And option D, Europe saw a decreasing amount of trade with the Muslim world. There's never been a decrease in the amount of trade in the Muslim world. So guess what? We're going to eliminate option D right off the bat. Get that out of here. The Seljuk Turks controlled most of the Muslim world. Not quite at that point in time, so we can eliminate option C. And that leaves, again, with the Byzantine Empire, I feel like Christianity or Catholicism needs to be at the forefront of the discussion when you're talking religion. Taking a look here, the option B, the Holy Roman Empire controlled all of Catholic Europe, or Catholic Christianity was expanding in Western Europe. I think the more true statement is going to be option B, the Holy Roman Empire controlled all of Catholic Europe. So, and that'll be the answer for number 5. So basically, guys, if it were me, I would take a look at the map. Before I started on these 5 questions, I would take a look at the map, and when you see it on the test, take a look at the map, and or any map for that matter, and point out, like, almost organize your thoughts with it. Take some notes off to the side, organize your thoughts with it, and I think that's going to help you answer some questions about it. So, all right, let's scroll ahead now to question number... let's go to question number 26 and 27. 26, 27, 28. All right, so we're looking at a map of Africa, right? You're looking at caravan routes. Obviously, those are going through the sand roads. So who were the primary groups traversing, meaning traveling, on number 26? Who were the primary groups traversing the Sahara Desert to reach West Africa along the trade routes shown on the map? So let's look at the options. European traders, Islamic traders, Chinese traders, or Mongol traders. If geography is any indication, I think it's going to be A, the Islamic traders. Again, that's how Islam spread the most. These traders are coming from Southwest Asia, right? Whereas the Chinese had a little longer of a route to go to get to Western Africa. The Mongols did as well. And Europeans more likely would have gone by boat to get to West Africa. So the option there is going to be A. All right. Number 27, what was one significant effect of the Indian Ocean trade shown on the east side of the map? So let's take a look at the east side of the map. You see all these little areas right there by the Indian Ocean, right along the coast, all those little white dots. Let's look at the options. Option A, the immigration of large numbers of Africans to southern Asia. I don't think that was the case. I think most Africans stayed put unless they were forced to leave. Option B, the development of the Swahili language. There's nothing really mentioned on that map about Swahili. So let's eliminate those first two options, A and B. So let's look at option C, the conversion of most of the coastal parts of East Africa to Christianity. Let's take a look at that. What's one significant effect of the trade? You can argue that, but remember, it was only Ethiopia that really embraced Christianity. Everybody else pretty much embraced Islam. How about the importation of gold from Arabia? The importation of gold from Arabia. So I think it's going to be option D. Gold coming from the Muslim Empire. I think if anybody was going to adopt Christianity, it probably would have been Western Africa, to be honest with you. But on this one, they mentioned Eastern Africa, yeah. Even though Ethiopia was Christian, but it was the only one too. All right, let's look at the last one. Number 28. What is the main reason that there were no significant trade routes in the central portion of the map? So let's look at the central portion of the map. No trade routes, and that is interesting for sure. If you'll look, above Luba and Kanem and Bornu, just basically anything south of the Sahara Desert, yeah, you'll see the Congo River, and that's about it, right? And now the Nile River goes way far down towards Lake Victoria, so that area in between pretty much the Congo River and Lake Victoria and the Nile, no trade routes. So what's going on there with that? Let's see. All right, so option A, the hostility of local tribes discouraged outsiders from entering. Maybe. But let's go ahead and eliminate that option. Option B, the central part of Africa has no significant resources. I disagree with that. We've seen that. We've seen that plenty with all the resources they had. Linguistic barriers, meaning language barriers, made trade difficult. Let's go ahead and keep option C. But let's look at option D. The harshness of the terrain made travel practically impossible. A lot of mountains in this area. A lot of mountains, a lot of jungle and everything. So it's going to be option D, right? Languages, different languages were diffused in this area, just like all over Africa. But in this one, it's going to be option D. Going to have a hard time riding camels through the mountains. It's easier to do it in the desert. So that one's going to be option D. So okay, those are the map questions on the study guide. Hopefully you'll use this and be ready for the test on Monday with it. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. Again, no guarantee I'll have access to email, so please, 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 here over the next couple days, shoot me a message, because probably after Friday, it might be a few days before I'm able to respond. All right, good luck on this, and I will see you again sometime next week. Thanks, guys.